What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, puppy. Welcome in. Got my son here with me right here. So we will roll this up here in a second. Talk about a couple of the games, couple of teams to look out for. Still have a couple of undefeated teams left in this dynasty so far. I should see the top 25. We got Penn State, Georgia, Miami, Alabama, Michigan, Arizona State. We jump down here. Iowa State still undefeated. Texas Tech is still undefeated. Colorado, and then Navy and UConn are both undefeated. So a couple undefeated teams. I'm actually rolling to the later half of the year where the big games actually matter. So you lose here, if you lose any games and fall behind it takes a big toll on you. So we'll jump into it. Look at this couple schedules. So Penn State's obviously leading the race right now for the top 25. Sitting at 6-0. They just played Maryland. I want to say that they actually won this game. Take a look at their team schedule. Have not played this game yet, so we'll hopefully see a Penn State Maryland game here shortly. Next user game we got coming up is Ohio State and USC to end off his season. So it's pretty tough matchups. He goes to Columbus, Ohio, and he gets USC at home. So could see undefeated Penn State heading into the Big Ten championship, but hopefully one of these teams try to spoil it. But great season so far. Take a little bit of a recap on his couple of games he's had. So he played Washington, played Wisconsin, shut out Minnesota, and then his recent user game against UCLA, 28-14, where his quarterback went 2 for 1, 15 for 18, and forced 3 turnovers. My Nico Amavalave, he threw 3 picks in that game. So next on the list, we got the Georgia Bulldogs. Take a look at his remaining schedule. He's got to play at Ole Miss. After this bye week, then he goes Texas A&M, LSU, Mississippi State, Texas. So a real tough stretch of games for the Georgia Bulldogs. Game to look out for on this will definitely be the home matchup against A&M and then at LSU. Got Coach D and Coach Earls. Definitely going to give him a run for his money. And then if he can get to that stretch, he does have another game against Coach Coco Losa, who currently on a losing streak, has dropped 2 in a row. Hopefully he'll pick it back up. Just recently played Oklahoma and Coach Book and did just lose that matchup. It was a really great game. If you guys didn't check it out, go watch his VOD. It's a Coco Loso Trucking on Twitch. At number 3, we got Miami Hurricanes. First week, I've got a sim win against Notre Dame, win against Florida, win against Florida State. So only thing he has left in the schedule will be SMU, Virginia Tech, and Pittsburgh. So Virginia Tech's a new user. It'll be Scooby. All the rest of his games are all away games. So let's see if he can handle it. I want to say he's only had really 2 home user games that he's played. One got desynced. So we'll see if he can finish out the rest of the year on the road. Some quality opponents. I know Maddie's going to give him everything he can ask for. And then Scoob taking Virginia Tech before the cutoff, before this advance was really huge. For the ACC, got you guys under a quality opponent on that side of the ACC. Move on to D. I think he was a bunch of our guys' picks to win the national championship year 1, and he's really not let up the gas. In his 2 user games that he's had this year, he's only let up 14 points against users. Now, if we take a look at his 2 recent games, a little bit of a struggle against Vanderbilt and Missouri. But we're going to talk about just dominance against users. There's your guy there. If we go calculate this up, D has scored a total of 105 points to 14 against users. His next matchup is going to be versus Tennessee and ICU. Then he's got to go see Coach D, Mississippi State, and he's got to go to Auburn to finish off his season. Once again, I did pick him to win the national championship and even get into the SEC championship. The SEC race is tight, but we'll take a look at that here in a few. But yeah, let's move on to the next person on this list. Old man on the sticks. I think he took the preseason rankings pretty tough. He was ranked 20th of coaches, and he just came out firing. Just look at these games. Win against Oklahoma, had a forced win against Indiana, beat Oregon, beat USC, and he has Michigan State and Ohio State as user. So if he could really finish out the season undefeated with Bryce Underwood. We'll take a look at his quarterback stats. He's been playing really well. I want to say threw a couple of picks against USC in that matchup. Yeah, 1 for 4. So he had his freshman moment finally in this dynasty. But yeah, threw 4 picks. Got a lot of it. Got it going in the rushing game with the split between Justice and Jordan Marshall. And then his defense really came to play. Yeah, on the other side, Jaden Mavia. So it was just turnover city through 6 interceptions. So he did get out the win with that in that game. We're going to roll on to Arizona State. This is Minnie. Minnie had took the Big 12. First test coming up week 8. This will be game of the week. I think this will be our first game of the week that's not an SEC or Big Ten opponent. Definitely should be something to check out, especially if Limp is going to be streaming this game because it is a home matchup. No, it's a home matchup for many, but if Limp does stream this game, this will be the game to watch. The battle of the Big 12, and then he does have to go take on Colorado. So Big 12 is really set now. Got 3 different undefeated teams in the Big 12 within Texas Tech and Colorado. So be on the lookout for this matchup. Texas Tech versus Arizona State will be game of the week after we advance. So next on the schedule, we got LSU. Earl's has been a really great user so far. Just got a recent win over South Carolina. Actually, I got to force win that real quick. Yeah, I got to force win that. But yeah, we got Clemson. Won a game against Clemson. Beat Florida by 2. Lost to Texas at home. And then he rolls into this really grudge match. We got week 10, a really big matchup if he can get past Vandy and Mississippi State, where he goes to play Georgia. And then at the end of the season, he has to go to Norman to play Oklahoma. So we get a lot left on his schedule. You see his combined opponent record is 43-19. So he's got some tough opponents to play towards the end of the season. But yeah, shout out to the LSU Tigers. As we go to Coco Loso Trucking. Started the season strong. He started the season 5-0, went to Florida, lost on the road, played Oklahoma, lost by 3 in that matchup I was just telling you guys about. Then he played Kentucky. You guys, Kentucky week 8. Then let's see South Carolina and then Auburn. And in week 12, his last game of the year is going to be against Georgia Bulldogs. So we will see how this goes for him. He's really had a great season so far. If he goes through this and finishes it off, he'll definitely still end up making the playoffs. Then we got Trail, his most recent loss against Michigan. He's currently on. No, he just beat Ohio State. My fault. Just played Ohio State, won that game 24-17. Next user, he has Michigan State and UCLA, which could be the Michigan State game is going to be huge, especially with Lycodic having that game at home. So let's see if he can finish out the season 11-1. My prediction is if he finishes out the season 11-1. He's either going to be seeing Penn State or Michigan, depending on how the card draws. So, all right, before we talk about Notre Dame, I'm going to go ahead and get one of my guys in here to talk about his team. We'll go over his stats real quick. So bear with me for just a moment. Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure your voice audio is sharing to the stream. One more. Say something again. I need you to say something on the mic real quick, Sean. Okay. Here, we're gonna just do it the OG way. Gonna call up Coach the Notre Dame Fighting Irish real quick and get him on the phone to talk about his team.
Well, I was talking, and then you called.
You're good. You're good. We're just gonna do it this way. Coach Douglas of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Good. So we're gonna talk about your season so far. You're currently sitting at number 11 in the nation, 4-1 on the year. Take a look at your recent games you played. So you got Miami, that's a loss on the road. You got Texas A&M that you won 38-23 after a great comeback on your part. So your next big test is against USC. After watching his game against Michigan, what is your thoughts on him as an opponent and just how you're going to come and approach that game?
I think he's a solid player. I think he makes a lot of mistakes, and I just have to take advantage of those mistakes every chance that I get and not make many mistakes myself.
Perfect. So your biggest thing has been the run game this year. Let's go take a look at your stats, especially Jeremiah Love. We'll go take a look at that real quick.
I would say Jeremiah Love's number one on Heisman right now.
Yeah. Let's take a look at your stats real quick. Dude, what are you doing? Quit hanging up on people. This is not your phone. You're real good. This is not your phone. This is not your phone. Don't be touching my phone, bro. All right, so if we take a look on the year, not really great passing the ball. So we're going to take a look at this. Throwing 7 interceptions. So are you really just relying on your run game to take you into the playoffs, or have you had a talk with your quarterback to get that figured out to see as a true freshman?
We got to figure it out with the quarterback, man. He's just a freshman that he gets hit as he's throwing the ball, and people just picking the ball off. But aside from those, he's really not been bad. But he's gonna get it together as the season goes.
Okay, alrighty. So let's talk about your front runner for Heisman right now. I got Jeremiah Love currently sitting at 95 carries, 627 yards, 9 touchdowns. What's he been to you as a running back this year?
Been really, really special. Offense been slow. I give him the ball and he starts getting us a couple yards, and then he'll break away some good runs, and it's just been amazing. He just breaks away every play.
Word on the street that your backup running back, Jadavian Price, is threatening to transfer at the end of this year. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not going to transfer there because Jeremiah Love more than likely will go to the NFL draft. He's already pretty much said that. So Jadavian Price will probably be the number one back next season.
All right. Well, I definitely think you should take a look into it. Because word on the street is if he's not happy with what you're producing right now, he will be in the transfer portal this upcoming season for another team.
I got you.
So, all right. Well, appreciate you. Hopefully you play great against your game against USC. Unfortunately, that would not be game of the week. As much as you want it to be, we won't be game of the week, but we definitely game that we all tune into in South Bend. So appreciate your time, Shadow. I hope you have a good day.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
All right, guys. So next thing we're gonna look at is the Clemson Tigers. This will be champ Malcolm coming in at a 5-1 record. Next game up is going to be against SMU. Then he sees Florida State and South Carolina at the end of the year. Had a real tough showing in his week opening against LSU, but it's really seemed to turn it around with a huge win against North Carolina. Another big win against Boston College this week, and then we'll see him take on another user at home in SMU. Should be a grudge match because Coach Matty felt like he should have got the Clemson job. So let's see if Matty can make him pay for taking his squad. Next up is Coach Limp. Got his Texas Tech Raiders at 5-0. He will be playing his first user game, actually back-to-back user games in his dynasty, which would be his only 2 user games against Arizona State and then Oklahoma State. Once again, I said this would be game of the week for next week. Yeah, this should be an exciting matchup. Hopefully we can get some great commentary going for this game. I know Limp does great commentary. We'll be posting this on YouTube. If you want to check Limp out, Limp Flipper Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he will be streaming this game. Hopefully, either get some action tonight or get some action sometime late tomorrow, so to be able to watch this game prime time. And then he can take on Mario, other Big 12s. Big 12's really showing out and got 4-1 and 3 other undefeated teams. So should be a great matchup to watch. Next on deck, we got USC. Nah, man, he don't need the mic right now. He about to go to sleep. Next on deck, we got USC. Remaining schedule, he's got to see Notre Dame, Penn State, and UCLA. So he got a tough little draw there. Real tough draw. I'm having to go from Michigan to Notre Dame and then having to go play Penn State at Penn State. Definitely a real tough draw. Really great user. I think his team is maybe 2 or 3 seasons away from making a championship run. Let's go look at Colorado. This is Tram. Tram is currently undefeated. He has 1 more user game left on the year, which would be against Arizona State, week 13. So Tram could very much well go into this game unless he falls trap against Iowa State. And trust me, they are a tough team to play. He could go into that Arizona State game undefeated. That's 6-0. So we'll have to go see, keep an eye on this. Because if Arizona State beats Texas Tech, this could be a top 5 matchup, 100%. So definitely something we'll be keeping our eye on there for sure. Then we got Texas A&M. Coach D currently sitting at 5-1 with his only loss against Notre Dame. He runs into a really tough schedule. He goes to Georgia, to Bama, back to back. I don't think anybody has a tougher draw than he does. I know everybody's just been talking about schedule this and schedule that, but that's a real rough draw. Having to go to Athens and to Tuscaloosa, man, I don't know. 2 guys that definitely are making their case to be in the SEC championship, all undefeated in conference. So we'll have to take a look and see how this goes. I'm excited. We got a bunch of great matchups coming up on deck, and at the end of their season, hosting Ole Miss. Really been struggling in this league so far. Next on deck, we got Coach Zay, yourself, Florida. 2 back-to-back losses is what's been the theme of this year. I mean, two top 10 opponents, and then we took Texas on home, and right on down on deck we got Mississippi State, we got Oklahoma, we got South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State to end off the year. So as long as we handle business, I don't see a reason why we don't make the college football playoffs. Now, I don't think we make the SEC championship. I do think that's going to be Georgia, Bama. The way how the schedule looks, it could even be Bama A&M. I'm still high on Bama making the SEC championship, regardless. But yeah, I definitely think we have what it takes to make the playoffs. But hey, what it takes and putting out what we should be doing on the field is a big ask. So just got to do what we're supposed to do, and we should be fine. Next team we're gonna look at is Oklahoma. Just got a big win. Well, big win. We're not talking about the Kansas State matchup where he just got sanctioned. We're talking about his big win against Texas. Really huge win. Backed up, lost his running back Jaden Ott for 2 games. So I think Jaden Ott will be back for the Oklahoma. I guess it really doesn't matter. You got Javonte Barnes. Javonte Barnes went for 186 yards. So I guess it really doesn't matter who he puts on the field. They're all going to do what they need to do. And then he has South Carolina, and Florida. So Jaden and I will be back for the Florida game, which would be huge for this Oklahoma team. And then they will roll into. Appreciate the follow, Coach D. Appreciate me at 93 followers. Appreciate the love, my guy. And then he sits at week 14 against LSU. So real tough stretch of games for him. South Carolina's really great user, and then Florida. Obviously, me, I'm not gonna give myself enough credit. Me and Coach Book really have great games against each other. And then that LSU at the end of the year will really be hopefully a matchup to see who goes to either SEC championship maybe or playoffs. We don't know. SEC's really tight. We'll look at conference standings here in a few. Boom, we got South Carolina coming off a forced loss to LSU. They got Oklahoma, Texas, Ole Miss, Florida, and then they finish out the year with Clemson. That's a really tough draw for a team that's going to come off back-to-back losses. That Mississippi State loss is huge for both teams. Mississippi State now comes in at 4-2 on the year, and then LSU, it's LSU. So, alrighty, next team on the block, Ohio State. Looks like he just took that loss to Oregon. Tough loss against Texas, Indiana. So all his user games are close. On the board, that big loss in Nebraska that he had. Here, I got you. Hold on. That big loss in Nebraska that he had is going to be really the theme of his season. Could cost him a playoff berth. Got to win those CPU games because he's still got to play Penn State, Michigan State, and he's still got to go play Michigan. So it's really tough opponents he's got to face at the end of the year. Like, we got some real guys that, are guys looking at to be making the playoffs. So he's really got to get his stuff figured out, making sure that he's not falling victim to missing out on playoffs when he could really make it. So we'll see what Josh does. I know the Ohio State faithful will not do with mid. So he could be out of a job by the end of the season. We'll see. We'll see what they're talking about. We'll look at how coaches are going to keep their job. I think I have first job firing off though. First year fire off. Tennessee just took a loss to A&M on the road. Next day we'll be seeing Alabama. So they'll be going to Alabama week 8. Then they got Auburn and then Florida. So a couple of rough matchups for these upcoming games that we will be seeing. All right. To round off the top 25, Indiana just made it into the top 25. Just made it in. He will be seeing Michigan State. That'd be a really great game to watch. Huge rivalry game. Two really good coaches. I think it's a really great game. And as you see, even 43-40 loss. Took a forced loss against Michigan, but was a really great game to watch. It would have been a great game to watch. They went to play Washington, Nebraska, and he's got Northwestern on deck. But Michigan State and UCLA are still in his path, and he finishes off the year against Purdue. That rounds off our top 25. Take a look at some Heisman watches. I know we had a guy to just break a record on the Heisman watch. He's not on there anymore. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a second. Got Jeremiah Love at number 1, Jordan Tyson at number 2, Jeremiah Smith at number 3, Quintravion Winsner at number 4, and then you got Dallin Hayden from Colorado sitting there at number 5 in the Heisman race. Look at their stats for the year. Jeremiah Love sitting at 95 carries, 627, 9 touchdowns. Jordan Tyson is sitting at 1,076 yards, 12 touchdowns. We got Jeremiah Smith sitting at 1,009 yards, 11 touchdowns. Quintravion Winsner is sitting at 2 touchdowns on the ground, 483 yards rushing, and he's brought in 3 touchdowns receiving. And then we got Dallin Hayden. It's really, I'm guessing he's not doing that much as he should be doing in the run game. Only 156 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Looks like he's doing his damage in the receiving game. 417 receptions, receiving yards, 34 receptions, 8 touchdowns for the kid out of Memphis, Tennessee. Take a look at these conference standings real quick and see how everybody's looking. We'll start from the top. We'll go to the ACC and work our way down. So the ACC, right now it's really led through Miami and Clemson. Those guys with their rest of their schedule we went over, it's looking like they will be playing for the conference championship. Louisville looks like the only really team right now that doesn't have more than 2 losses. We got SMU and North Carolina. Prediction right now is Miami and Clemson to both make the ACC championship against each other. But still a long season to go. We're only halfway through the season before we start getting a real look at how this is all going to play out. Look at the American, because we'll talk about the other conferences soon enough. Navy ranked at 23, currently undefeated in their conference, undefeated in general. They don't play any users, so actually they play Notre Dame. So they have to go see another huge team. Let's see if they can finish out and do what they need to do to make it to the playoffs. For the Big 12, like I said, tight race. You got Arizona State, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Colorado, UCF is sitting there, Oklahoma State is sitting there, and so is West Virginia. So got a lot of could have a lot of movement within the next coming weeks for the Big 12. For the Big 10, real tight packed in here too. Got Penn State, Michigan, USC, Michigan State, Oregon is still there. Don't let it fool you. And then I think Ohio State and Indiana really counting themselves out with those 2 losses they got. So we'll kind of see how it rolls. I think UCLA is definitely not going to be able to make the playoffs with 3 losses, but they can make something shake within the Big 10, of course. Conference USA got Liberty leading them, 4-1, Liberty in Middle Tennessee. For the independents, only on Notre Dame. We will talk about a conference maybe for season 3. I do think I want him to sit in a conference for more than just one season. So especially with how it's going to roll next season. I don't know if you guys know. Thank you, Tibbs, for the follow. I appreciate you, my guy. Here, sorry guys. But yeah, so what we're gonna kind of look and roll into. Maybe what a chill vote. It's either going to be the Big 10 or the ACC. I think the Big 12 is going to be a little bit too compact. No, probably ACC or Big 12. That's what we'll look at. But either the ACC or Big 12 come season 3. So we won't put them in a conference season 2. We'll make it work season 3. In the MAC, got Western Michigan and Miami, and Buffalo sitting there. In the Mountain West Conference, we got Boise State. We also will be moving all the teams that are supposed to be going to the Pac-12 to the Pac-12. You're being a menace. You're being such a menace. All the teams that are supposed to go to the Pac-12 will be going to the Pac-12. If North Carolina gets that deal with the SEC, North Carolina will be moving to the SEC as well. So if North Carolina gets that deal, IRL, we will move North Carolina to the SEC. We're going to talk about the Pac-12. They're not really doing much right now. SEC, compact. If you look at this race, it is crazy. Georgia, Bama, A&M, Oklahoma, Mississippi State still in the race. South Carolina still in the race. LSU still in the race. I think Texas still has a shot. Florida, Auburn still in the race for his SEC championship. And, of course, I don't think Tennessee makes it out. And I don't think Ole Miss has really shot themselves in the foot. You can't come back from 0-3 in conference at all. And then finishing out, we got the Sun Belt, Louisiana, and Texas State. Look and see if we got any coaches on the hot seat real quick or the coach contracts. My fault. Wrong thing that I went to. It is under. What was it under? Did they remove that? Coach stats. I want to say it's under coach stats. There we go. Right on board. So if we take a look at job security, one person that looks like they're on the block is Jason Tibbs. He's the only one that's looking like he's on the hot seat, but I know for a fact that has season 1 firing off. Let's see. We shouldn't have anybody with a non-custom coach anymore. We just want to double check. South Carolina user, you need to go create a coach. I don't know. So if you do not have your stuff together by week 12, you will be removed from the file. This is the second person we've caught with a user coach. Got to create a coach just like everybody else has. Do we have anybody else with a? I know. I don't know what's going on. We'll take a look at it. See, it looks like the only person left. So we'll get with the South Carolina coach. I'm pretty sure everybody was aware that they had to create a coach before the season started. So that'll be something we will be talking about. Awesome. So yeah, the only person that has a non-created coach in the file is a South Carolina user. So he's got to get that figured out. I'll let him know if it's not figured out. It ain't gonna be no sanction. It's gonna be removal. That was the biggest rule we've had for everybody when the season started. You must create a coach because it gives the unfair advantage with being a level 58 prestigious when everybody else is level 1. So got to get that figured out sooner than later. I don't think anyone's broken any records yet. No records have been broken. Looks like a single game records. We actually have had a record broken. Zane Durant and Kyron Drones just broke a record. 744 passing yards? What the hell is going on? $744 passing yards is crazy. Was that just in a recent game? What the bro? What the fuck happened in this game? 84-72? Haynes King threw 9 touchdowns? What the fuck? What? Haynes threw for 9 touchdowns? Oh my God. 84 points put up. Bro, we might have to put the time down. We might have to put the time down to 6 minutes next season. Because this is fucking ridiculous. 84 points put up by the CPU? Oh my God, that was a fucking dogfight. 30 points in the first quarter. Wow. Wow. Yeah, 58 points total in the first quarter, and then Georgia Tech put up 26 for it. Wow. What a crazy game. I know Scooby streamed it, so we'll go. I'll go take a look at this game. He went for 1,167 total yards. Wow. Wow. No turnovers. Yeah, they couldn't stop each other on defense. They both got 1 turnover each. Scooby only converted on 4th down 1 time out of 5. 744 passing yards to do that, man. I mean, he threw the ball how many times? 60 completions? 60 attempts. How many completions did he have? Half the completion. So, hey. Well, I think we will be pulling this down 100% to 6 minutes. We will talk about it because I've seen a lot of crazy scores recently. So, well, all right, guys. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, we got a couple of great games on deck for Week 8. When this week advances. It's not a user game, but Miami does have a top 15 matchup. We got Michigan State, Indiana, Florida, Mississippi State, SMU, Clemson, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Arizona State, Tennessee, Bama, and USC, Notre Dame. So appreciate you guys checking the mid-season show. We will do the postseason show like we did in TFL last year where we revealed the playoffs. But hey, let's have a great rest of the year. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time.